Hello, clarinet players. Trying to come up with a little jingle at the beginning of my videos. Something I could play every time, but who knows. So we're going to go over Minuet for clarinet. It's a shortened version. We're going to find it in our book, and we're going to do a warm-up in the book and maybe an exercise in the book. We'll see how far we get. Let's start off, and again, I like to do a playing lesson, so I'm already set up. I haven't really done warm-up, so what I'm going to do is go to exercise number 67. It's called Jasmine Flower. It's a beautiful song. And if we bring it up here in our book, I'm using a digital copy. If you need a digital copy, please email me, and I can show you how we can bring that up for you. Again, you just need to email me or have your parents email me. That's even better because you'll need their permission to get this digital copy, but it is free and we can make sure you have it. But many of you have your books. And we're on exercise number 67. In this exercise, I'd like us to start thinking about what we've learned. So typically we can break it down, count it, say it, finger it, and play it. But that end game for that is that you do that all at once. So if you're sight reading, you're looking at the music, it should be easy enough that you can actually break it down and read the rhythms and the notes, what notes they are at the same time. So let's do that together. I think it's easy for me to put on a metronome so that we can play together since we're in digital world. So let's get that going. And I've got the ding on 1. It's a little bit fast. I'm going to slow it down since we're just bring the tempo down a little bit. And here we are in our first measure. For us, it's D, F, F. Are you thinking plum, plum, pear? 1, 2, here we go. You should feel that in your chops. Great, so that's a great warm-up. You can do that every day, and it doesn't matter. You don't need to play it perfectly. You just want to play. Remember, we're not looking for perfection. So before we go to our song, Minuet, we're going to do a quick exercise. So Jasmine Flower was our warm-up. Nice, feel it. And now we're going to use a sheet that is called Clarinets. Practice this page only on the days you eat, number 3. It's attached to the video. You'll notice that it starts right off with the F major scale, and that starts on a low F. Since that is the hardest note to play on this line number 1, let's do it in reverse and start on the F on the top and go backwards. So I'm going to use my metronome again. I'm going to take off the ding sound because that's really, really piercing, and just keep a click going. Let's see if I can do that. So metronome number 1 is that. Let's see if it worked. I like that better. Sometimes you make a mistake and it works out for you. So here we go. We're going to play whole notes going backwards. We're back. Bring my attention back to where it should be. Number 1, clarinets. Practice this page only on the days you eat. number 3, line number 1, backwards. So starting on first line F for a whole note, go. And then E, D, E flat, that was loud. Let me get the metronome doing a click sound. I think I can do that. Okay, now we're clicking. So, again, why did we do it backwards? Because we were trying to cover the holes, and as we're covering each holes, and again, you'll say, why B flat? Well, because it is the F major scale, and we make that change to keep it as do, re, mi, fa. So fa is B flat, and then A. And again, as I was saying, we're adding fingers, flat fingers rule, and then F is down at the bottom. I will put up an F fingering, and I would say put your clarinet up so you can see your clarinet, so you can look back at it, and you'll be able to pick out which one it is. And there is a left fingering for it too. And everyone asks why I don't show them that fingering, so there you go. So if your pinky doesn't reach to this button here, right? So again, just to be very clear, we went F, E, D, C, B flat, A, G. Now the right hand pinky reaches there for an F, but the left hand pinky can, if this pinky wasn't there, can also do it. So there's a left hand F and a right hand F, and they sound the same. Whichever works for you. Why do we want to know that low F? Well, take a look as we go down to the next exercise. In the third exercise, you will see that these low notes become high notes. So for our purposes today, this low F will become a high C when I add what is called the register key. Now, it's not called an octave key because it goes from a low F to a high C. Now, my big fat honking thumb can fit over the hole here and move this down. That's the key. If your thumb comes off, you've let the air out. So it's really just very subtle when you add the turbo charger in the back. So low F becomes high C. Low notes for high notes. Practice your low notes, and your high notes will soon follow. In our song, we do not use a high note. We're actually only using a low note. So practice this page only on the days you eat. Obviously goes through a little bit more than I'm touching on this lesson. So in your spare time, please dig deeper into that. But we're going to go on to our song and keep playing. All right, so now we're at our song portion of this playing lesson, and that is going to be Minuet, and it is number 90 in Accent on Achievement. And again, I will reiterate, that means to tell you again, if you don't have your book at home, then I can get you a link to a digital copy. You would have to have your parents send me an email, since they would be responsible for opening it, but it is free, and you would then have access to your Accent on Achievement book. So the first thing I notice about this is that our time signature is 3/4. So we'll be counting in 3 beats per measure. Now I can add the ding on, so that'll always let us know, but the click to me was a little bit better and less jarring. And the bell actually has a tone to it, so I don't know. So here we go. Let's get our metronome going. We're still keeping kind of a slow tempo as we're learning here. And I'm really thinking about counting. Let's just do 2 measures, right? So right off the bat, we have plum, kiwi, kiwi, plum. What are those? Well, those are called single eighth notes. If you go back in your book to page 21, you'll see a single eighth note. We've had pairs of eighth notes, and when they're close together, they hold hands, and that's why you see them with the bar across. But this is a single eighth note, and right after that is a single eighth note rest. So the author here is asking you, composer, to leave a space there. So on beat 1, we have the quarter note, and then on beat 2, we have, instead of a kiwi, we have key, rest, key, rest. Or we could say kiwi, kiwi, but we won't say the we. I'll show you how it works. So here we are, the first 2 measures of minuet. Just listen. Plum, kiwi, kiwi, plum, key, key. G, C, D, E, F, G, C, C. Notice the space and measure 2. Let's try it together. So count it. Plum, well, I'll give you a count in. Ready, count. Plum, kiwi, kiwi, plum, key, key. Say the notes and finger is G, C, D, E, F, G, C, C. Play it together. Ready, go. Not bad. Again. Ready, go. Again. Ready, play. We're going to play it 3 more times, but this time we're going to add the articulation. They have arranged it so that on beat 2, the C and the D are tied together. So you just tongue the C and slur to the D. And then they want the E and the F on beat 3 to be short with the staccato. Staccato means separated. So they want you to not slur it or play it legato, which is just a normal tonguing. They want you to play it separated. The contrast actually gives a nice flavor. Now, my teacher, I'm going to turn off this metronome, always told me that 99% of the time, if you are playing a slur into 2 staccato notes, that you should clip the second note of the slur, unless told otherwise. So in other words, if you see this rhythm with 2 notes slurred and then 2 notes staccato, check this out. Instead of going, if you make the second note, in this case the D, short, that's typically the sound, especially if we're doing a piece by Bach. So again, little deeper knowledge that you can take it to is that this rhythm in itself is 2 slurs, 2 staccatos, but historically they're played like this, which would really mean you would put a slur and put a staccato over the second note. I don't think that's too confusing. I think that's actually really important. So let's play it again, and we're going to put the metronome back on. First 2 measures, and 1, 2, 3. Again, ready, go. Third time, ready, go. Now, the next two measures have the same rhythm and the same articulation. So we really don't need to spend too much time on that. We just need to identify the notes, which are A, F, G, A, B natural, C, C, C. With the rhythm, A, F, G, A, B, C, C, C. Squeaks, yay! Let's try that together. So it's A, F, G, A, B, C, C, C. 1, 2, together. Now that first C I shouldn't have made short. It actually doesn't have any sort of articulation, so it should be played legato or just its full length. So again, here we go. 2, 3. Another squeak. Yes, it's okay to squeak. Even I squeak. Let's do it again. 2, 3. Again, ready, go. Oh, first note is an A, ready, go. And again. Ready, go. I'll turn so you can see my pinky. If your pinky doesn't reach, you want to use this one. It's so now let's take a look at our next two measures, which will bring us up to the first ending. So we have, counting it, again, we're on 1, 2, 3, 4, the fifth measure. It's I believe the last measure of the first line, if my digital copy is the same as your book. So here we go. It's starting on the F. Plum, kiwi, kiwi, plum, kiwi, kiwi. F, G, F, E, D, E, F, E, D, C. Again, it's F, G, F, E, D, E, F, E, D, C. And I look at it, I see the articulation is, we haven't really talked about articulation sounds, but it's going to be da, da, ah, dot, dot. Da, da, ah, dot, dot. And that's for both. And that's the slur, staccato, legato. You ready for this? Let's play it. F, G, F, E, D, E, F, E, D, C. 1, 2, try. Oh, I wasn't ready. My fingers spazzed out. 1, 2, go. Again, ready, go. Again, ready, go. Now let's look at the first ending where we're going to have plum, kiwi, kiwi, plum, pear. B, B natural, middle finger B. B, C, D, E, C, E, D. Let's play it. Here we go. The articulation would be da, da, ah, dot, dot, da. First ending, ready, go. Again, first ending. Now, the end of the first ending, we go back to the top, and then we would come back to the second ending. So let's do that. Back to the top. Let's try 4 measures. That will take us to, on the page, back to the beginning of the first ending. But we wouldn't play the first ending the second time. So we're going to skip the first ending and go to the second ending. We'll try it, and then maybe we'll break it down. So we're now going back to the top the second time. Here we go. And ready, play. Now, if you're playing along with me, you say, but wait, what happened to the first ending? That was the second time, so we skipped the first ending and went to the second ending. Second ending, if we broke it down, is just plum, kiwi, kiwi, pear, lum. Yes, it's a dotted half note. 2 beats plus the dot, 3. Play it for all 3. You can hear the metronome. See if you can hold it all the way out. So again, measure 2 is plum, kiwi, kiwi, pear, lum, stop. Notes are D, E, D, C, B, C. I'm not singing it, so because I can't sing in tune. I can. D, E, D, C, B, C. I can sing it in tune, just not nice. Let's just play it. Again, second ending. Da, da, ah, dot, dot, da. All right, let's take it from the top. 1, 2, 3, minuet. Gonna do the first ending back to the top, then back to the second ending. Don't play the first ending the second time. Just think about it, just logically. The second time, you would skip the first ending because it's the second time. 1, 2, 3, ready, go. Well, thank you for joining me. Again, we did our... My teacher always had the metronome on from the second I walked in until the second I left, so I'm glad I turned it off. We did our sound production, Jasmine Flower. We did our etudes by going to practice this only on the days that you eat, number 3. And then we did our song, count it, say it, finger it, play it. If this is a song you choose to do, that would be great. Please pursue it. There is the full version that does go up to the high C, and I'll be happy to send it to you. Again, please reach out. I'd be happy to record a different song, different classic, if you would like to attempt it. Have a good one. Oh, let's try the lick again. Maybe not with the snap.